Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Cryptonews Weekly Roundup. Pumped to be with you this week. I am Matt Zahab, and I am pumped to be here with the one and only Rachel Wolfson. Rachel, how are you today?
Hey Matt, I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm pumped. Great week. A lot of stuff in crypto. Pumped to be here with you. Let's jump right into it, folks. Again, this is the Cryptonews Weekly Roundup. What a week it was. I guess, Rachel, we have to start with the price, and then we will jump into some Trump stuff. But Bitcoin, folks, we are seeing light at the end of the tunnel. Bitcoin is back, give or take, to about 65,000, up about 10% in the last 7 days. And Ethereum is also almost back up to $3,400, also up, give or take, around 10%. Why did that happen? Well, that was because mostly of the USA potentially adopting Bitcoin and, of course, Trump. How crazy was that Trump assassination from last week, Rachel?
I know, yeah, that's crazy news. I think that was probably the craziest piece of news to happen entirely, but it's interesting
Oh,
because
wow.
it impacted the crypto markets. Matt, yeah, do you think it impacted the crypto market? Do you think it made the price of Bitcoin actually go up?
I think it did because Trump has now said, and the Republican Party said last week, that they are now pro crypto. They are going to put, crypto as part of the official party agenda, if you will. And again, if that's going to happen, the price of Bitcoin might go up. Everyone's sort of scrambling right now. A lot of other countries, well, if the USA adopts Bitcoin, everyone's going to have to follow. This could be great for us. One thing that I do know definitely impacted the market was all of the Trump meme coins. MAGA token, which is obviously Trump's, not directly affiliated with him, but that token went up 50% right away, did shoot back down a little. Pretty crazy. Speaking of Trump, though, next week we're going to see him. Bitcoin 2024 conference in Nashville. He's speaking. How wild is that going to be?
That is wild because I was almost positive that Trump would not speak at Bitcoin 2024 in Nashville. But, it's been reported by David Bailey, the CEO of Bitcoin Magazine, that Trump is in good spirits and excited to deliver his speech. So I think that's crazy. Hopefully we get the chance to be there, Matt, and see that in action.
That will be an absolute treat. Also, huge speakers going to be there: Snowden, Russell Brand, RFK, Kathy Wood, Michael Saylor. And we don't know if Trump's new crypto-friendly VP, JD Vance, will be in attendance, but that was also great news. Folks, if you don't know who JD Vance is, he is a true crypto degen. He is one of us. He has a bunch of Bitcoin. He's got NFTs, and he's probably got, a little bit more as well. He is holding between $100,000 and $250,000 in Bitcoin. I love to see it. Rachel, how freaking awesome is that we got
Yeah.
JD Vance on the docket as well?
It's awesome. Plus, I'm seeing a lot of these like pro crypto friendly supporters supporting, different candidates as well. I know John Deaton, who's running against Elizabeth Warren in Massachusetts. I spoke with him. I think we spoke with him at Consensus, right? So he just received, I think it was 8 Bitcoin from the Winklevoss twins. I saw that on X. So it's so good to see that there's so much support for these crypto friendly candidates. I think it's really exciting for the industry.
100%, I agree. A couple more things on the Bitcoin front here. First and foremost, Germany. Last week, Germany almost single-handedly tanked the markets, just literally offloading absurdly high amounts of Bitcoin in clips of 10,000 Bitcoin at a time. We're talking hundreds of millions of dollars. On July 12th, they finally offloaded their last clip. That is 3,846 Bitcoin, selling them for an aggregate average price of 62,000 per coin. Thank goodness this is over. Germany finally has their ducks in a row, especially being, the country in Europe with the highest GDP and the best economy. Figured they'd have a better trader, but c'est la vie. But the last thing on Bitcoin, Rachel, which I absolutely love and can't get enough of. Tell me you saw Larry Fink on CNBC last week shilling Bitcoin to millions of investors around the world.
Yeah, no, that was exciting. It's been an exciting week for Bitcoin. But yeah, Matt, tell us a little bit about that.
Well, that was wild. Larry Fink went on. He went on CNBC and said that he is a major believer in Bitcoin, and that he's not just dipping his toes in the crypto waters anymore. He's going all in and quote unquote called Bitcoin a legitimate financial instrument. Folks, if you're not aware about BlackRock, Larry Fink is the CEO of BlackRock. BlackRock is a very small investment boutique who only has, $10 trillion under management, the biggest in the world. Shout out Larry Fink. We love that you're shilling Bitcoin on the national scale. Speaking of the national scale, Rachel, another huge piece of news in regards to the top 2 coins. We just talked about Bitcoin. Time to move on to ETH. The SEC finally announced July 23rd, target date for the ETF. I cannot wait for this. Cannot
Yeah,
wait for the
I
ETF.
can't wait either. And I'm very shocked and surprised that it might come. What is it, next week? Yeah, next week. I spoke with
Crazy.
James Seyfert, the Bloomberg Intelligence ETF analyst at Consensus. I was thinking it would take a lot longer, but I follow him on X. He's really great with posting news about, everything ETH, ETF, and ETFs in general. And yeah, it's just shocking that this might happen next week.
It's pretty crazy. ETH ripped, give or take 5%, based on the news. And another thing that we love to see, all of the ETF providers, Invesco, Galaxy, BlackRock, Templeton, Grayscale, you name it, they are all going to have super low fees, aiming between 0.2 and 0.3%. So again, 0.25 ticks, which is lovely to see. Rachel, I hate to bring up some bad news, but again, we got to do our job here. Got to talk about everything. It was a couple good weeks without a sizable crypto hack, and then the Wazir X hack happened. $230 million stolen from the multi-sig wallet, the biggest crypto exchange in India. How terrible is this?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, especially horrible for, India. And I know that with regulations and all of that in the crypto industry there, it's been a bit murky. So this, I think, is definitely going to delay their innovation and just crypto-friendly stance there. Matt, how did this happen?
That's actually a really good question. It was just a hiccup with the multi-sig. I guess someone within the group who had access to the multi-sig wallet got hacked. Someone got access to it, and boom, 230 million. That was about half of their reserves. They paused withdrawals. And again, this is the biggest exchange in the country that has the most economic potential in the world, in India, as they have really developed a lot of their infrastructure, their Wi-Fi, everything else like that. They have over 1 billion people. And just over 10 years ago, less than 10% of their whole population had access to Wi-Fi. Now almost everyone does. So if the crypto market wants to hit mass adoption, we need the Indians in there as well, and we'd love to have them there. Speaking of money laundering, a new money laundering report from Chain Analysis shows that stablecoins are used mostly for illicit activity. This isn't good news, and this was a Rachel Wolfson exclusive. I loved reading this article. I got to throw the ball over to you and get you to tell us a little bit more about it.
Thanks, Matt. Yeah, so this was an exclusive for Cryptonews that I wrote about. Chainalysis found that stablecoins are being used for illicit activity and making up that majority of that volume. Apparently, criminals that are non-crypto natives are using stablecoins because, it's obvious, it's stable, it's tied to the US dollar, it makes sense. Yep. But the good news is that Chainalysis, and there are other platforms that can trace these illicit activities, find the criminals, and put a stop to it. Also, when it comes to stablecoins, those issuers can freeze transactions if they look suspicious. So at the end of the day, I don't know if stablecoins really make that much sense for illicit activity.
Very good point there. Very good point. Moving forward, Polkadot advertising on Lyft, probably Uber's biggest competitor being Lyft. Advertising in New York City. You were just in New York City. I got to ask you, did you see any of these Polkadot advertisements on Uber or on Lyft, going to JFK, going to LaGuardia, any of those? Did you see them kicking around anywhere?
Yeah, no, definitely. So that's how I came about to feature this and to write the article for Cryptonews. I was headed to JFK Airport. No, I was headed to LaGuardia, sorry, and got a Lyft and saw that ad for Polkadot, and I was shocked. I was like, oh wow, Polkadot is advertising on Lyft now. It said, click here to learn about the future of blockchain. It takes you to a 15-minute documentary. It's educational. I think it's a great way to gain mainstream adoption and to educate the public about blockchain. So way to go, Polkadot.
Yeah, kudos to Polkadot. And folks, the last big piece of news this week, Ethereum's 10-year ICO anniversary takes place on Monday, July 22nd. I'm born and raised in Toronto. I'm actually recording in Toronto right now. And Rachel, the birthplace of Ethereum, is in the lovely Toronto, Ontario, Canada. I love to see it. I mean, I haven't seen any events that are taking place in Toronto. I got to get on my Telegram groups and my WhatsApp groups, Signal groups, and see what's good. But crazy to think that it's been 10 years. Do you remember what you were doing on July 22nd, 2014 when Ethereum ICO came out?
Matt, I actually don't remember what I was doing at that time. I do know that I didn't know what Ethereum or ETH was at the time, so that's unfortunate, but it is crazy that it's been 10 years since the Ethereum ICO took place. And I do know that there are a few celebrations happening in San Francisco on Monday and also next week. There's also a big event coming up in Tokyo called EdCon 2024, where Vitalik Buterin and Joe Lubin will be speaking in honor of, just the Ethereum milestone. So hopefully we can all check that out. And I think that kind of concludes our news for the week.
You got it. Rachel, great having you on here, folks. We really hope you enjoyed this. Rachel and I had a blast doing this. Again, quick 10-minute video, just going to give you the spark notes, the Coles notes of everything that went down this week. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. Enjoy, and we'll see you on the next one.
Thanks, Matt. Bye, guys. Have a great week.
See you guys. Ciao.